Hello, welcome back to the Ielts. I'm Steve and I'll be with you throughout the rest of this course. In the last lesson of Chapter 2, we'll be discussing travel and tourism. Questions about travel and tourism range from average to difficult. Most questions are about one's travel experience, means of transport when travelling, and the lessons one has learnt while on a journey. Difficult questions are mostly about the effects of tourism in one place and the changes they bring. Travel and tourism are topics that may ask you to talk about the past or present situations of your country's tourism industry. Some questions will also allow you to talk about the future. In talking about the past and the future, you must use the right tenses. Verb tenses help specify the time when a certain action happened or will happen, which is why utilizing verb tenses is a key skill in Ielts. Verb tenses are difficult to master. These tell us how an action relates to the flow of time. Non-native speakers often find verb tenses complicated, consequently making them worry about and doubt their fluency in English. To be able to get a high score in the grammatical range and accuracy criterion, you should understand the usage of the different tenses. There are three main verb tenses: present, past, and future. These tenses are divided into four aspects: simple, progressive, perfect, and perfect progressive. However, not all these tenses are commonly used in the speaking test. The most common tenses used in the speaking test are the simple tenses: past, present and future, present perfect and present progressive. Simple tenses express facts and situations that exist in the past, exist in the present, or will exist in the future. They're used in telling a story and stating general truths. They're also used in describing things in the past and present. Most general questions can be answered using simple tenses. Progressive tenses are used to talk about unfinished events and are useful in storytelling. Look at these examples. Perfect tenses are the most complicated to use. They express the idea that one event happens before another event. However, past perfect and present perfect are the only commonly used tenses in this aspect. Future perfect is rarely used. Past perfect and present perfect can be used in describing experiences. Here are some examples. Understanding how to use these tenses will help you get a higher score in grammar. Be consistent and accurate with the usage of your tenses. If you started answering a question or telling a story using the past or present tense, be consistent. Use the present perfect tense in introducing an experience, but use the simple past in giving details. Use flexible tenses in your answer. Make use of grammatical structures you are sure of to avoid self-correction, which affects fluency. Now let's look at some questions about travel and tourism. This question tests your ability to give suggestions. You should state your suggestions and explain why you suggested them. It's also okay to talk about the possible effects of your suggestions. Using modal verbs is needed in your answer, so be flexible in your choice of tenses. This conditional question should be answered using a conditional to. The use of modal verbs is also important in answering conditional questions. The simple and progressive tenses can be used in giving details. Observe how the question was answered using a conditional and how modal verbs were used. This sample answer used conditionals and accurate verb tenses in giving details. Reasons were also given to support the answer. The accurate usage of verb tenses will lead to a good grammar score. Although it's encouraged that you vary your tenses, using simple but accurate tenses is much better than using complicated but inaccurate ones. Be consistent but flexible in your choice of tenses. Travel and tourism questions will basically talk about your country's travel industry and famous spots. You should know some of your country's tourist destinations to be able to answer questions and try to read articles to stay updated. Follow these tips and you'll improve much faster. Until next time.